If you have an old CCTV camera system and you want to convert it to something more modern, like this camera with the LED lights in the front, why not repurpose some old LED lights lying around your house? I had an old 12-volt PV system, and I figured because all the components are plastic, I can just cut it into the shape that I need. I have 12 LED lights, but I think depending on the power that I will be supplying to it, I think only 4 will be able to be powered up. Of course, we'll be basically making a dummy CCTV camera, so it won't be able to record, but it will look the part. We won't be needing the connectors, so we'll be cutting those off so that we can thread it through the holes at the back of the camera. I'll be making 2 sets of lights, but only one will be working at the front of the camera. Because it's a dummy camera, it needs to look the part with wires coming into it. Later I'll show how to give it a new fresh look and erecting it. Take this opportunity to clean the front glass pane or lens. To position the LED lights on the front of the camera, we need to make sure that it's secure, and for that we use some sponges and just an old empty oil spray can. It will be important to keep the components dry inside the camera in case you'd like to convert it into a working system in the future. There's a very specific way of putting it back together. It's a very old type of system, but it's very effective at closing out the camera and to ensure a tight seal. All we need to do now is to put the plated window on the front to ensure that no moisture gets in and that the LED lights can be clearly seen from the outside. Tighten the screws as much as possible. That's the hard part over. Now we just have to clean it up and put it up onto the side of the house. The wires are quite long, but you can extend them into the house. It's important to secure the camera to the side of the house very securely, so we use roll bolts, and I'll show you how to erect the camera later. It only takes about 5 minutes of drilling to make the holes into the face brick. You will need 4 bolts. I was thinking of spray painting the individual components of the camera, but because it's just a dummy camera and you want to protect the outside of the camera, I'll be spray painting it at the end. So let's cover the parts that you don't want spray painted, like the wires and the lens, with masking tape. Again, this was very simple and easy, and it took me no time at all to give it a nice gloss white paint surface. I do feel that white is quite a good color, as it stands out and can be seen from quite a distance. All we need to do now is just remove the masking tape and reveal the nice clear lens, and also remove the tape around the wires and other surfaces like screws. I also gave it a bit of a touch up after I erected it onto the house. The next step is optional. Obviously, I was lucky enough to find LED lights that can work off a 12-volt battery. So here I'm just demonstrating what the light looks like, and obviously you don't want it to look like a light, but because they are LED, they don't shine like a torch, and I felt it did look quite realistic, and it was definitely noticeable from quite a long distance away, even in the daytime. I added a switch and positioned the battery quite close to the window near the side of the house, and I didn't even have to lengthen the wires. Drilling the holes was a breeze, and attaching the bracket to the house to the wall was very simple. Just make double sure that it is in the right place so that the camera can actually function and overlook your property. Tighten the bottom locking nut so that the camera can point in a fixed direction. This is the view from the camera, and I can adjust it left or right, but at this point it's aimed at the main gate. In this part of the world we get quite severe storms, so the new coat of paint is necessary for it to survive for quite a long time and not to let any water into the internal parts of the camera. Here's a close-up shot of the LED lights shining in the daytime. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Leave your comments below. Perhaps you have another way of doing this. Thank you and goodbye.